Well, hello there, Switchheads. Welcome back, Kanan here, and welcome to my review of Luciform. And why not hit that like and subscribe button before we get started to be kept up to date with all my latest content. And maybe if you want to get a bit more involved, hit that link below, which will take you to our community Discord. And so let's see if Luciform can make it up onto the Wall of Fame, or maybe the Wall of Shame, or perhaps somewhere in the middle. Let's have a look then, shall we? Gameplay. Okay, so before we get started, Luciform has 3 different actual level settings, which is a tutorial, a campaign, which is the actual main story kind of thing, and random and endless mode, which is kind of my favourite part to the game. And I spent a little bit of time here trying to get through it because it does actually have like a leaderboard, although it's not an online leaderboard, or not that I can find, but it is actually something to go through and try and beat your own score and beat your own distance. The tutorial is pretty cool at explaining how to actually play the game. As you can see, you're like this little rabbit thing, I think, and you have to leap onto different platforms and different walls, and you end up having to change the color of your little rabbit or Luciform. And basically, if you land on a blue with a being colored green, then you'll fall through it, and the same with the walls that you can climb up. So basically, every time you jump onto something, you need to be the same colour as that actual platform or wall. The game seems to have about 50 levels to it, but it is hard as nails. Like, I can spend probably about 20, maybe even 30 minutes trying to get past one actual level, which is kind of like weird because some levels seem to be easier to get past, and then they'll throw a few like dead difficult, like grinding your teeth difficult levels as well, where you'll have yourself literally twitching when you're actually playing it. The controls are okay. They're kind of like you use the analog stick to like jump yourself. You're constantly moving, but there is a mode that you can actually change that so you're not moving, but it's not the intended way to play the game, and kind of felt a little bit cheatery to me. And then you got the X, Y, and B buttons, which basically represent a colour that your character can turn into. And it's very much one of those games that's kind of like looks easy and should be easy, but it's really difficult because it does one of those things with your brain and it confuses you because of the way the actual mechanics work. And that can be clever, but it could also not be clever because the controls aren't as tight as I would actually want them to be. And sometimes you'll find yourself dying because of that, but this happens like just a few times. It's not broken in like it's going to be a problem all the way through the game type way. The levels seem quite well thought out, but some are like almost like difficult for the sake of being difficult, not because they've like worked it out to be something that you have to think your way out of. It's kind of strange to explain, but yeah, some of these levels just, they hurt your thumb and they just make you mad because it's just insanely difficult for no other reason than just to like try and screw you over. There is a story here, but it ain't going to really impact on most of the actual game, and basically it doesn't really have anything to do with it apart from to just give a reason that everything is like this. I also think the loading in times are a little bit long here and there as well, which is a bit weird for what the game actually is. You'll notice this especially on the random endless mode, and it's a bit of a shame because every time you die you have to go through this prolonged loading screen for some reason. An even bigger shame because it's my favourite mode of the whole lot, and yeah, I do like the randomization of it all. And it's the mode that, I kind of picked up after I played the main campaign mode, and it kind of like kept me playing because at certain points I was like, I need to put this down because it's starting to annoy me. And yeah, I went on to that, started playing it. I enjoyed it. and unfortunately those load levels just really hurt it. Graphically, it's not bad, it's not an ugly game. I like the main character. Some of the obstacles that you can see, like spikes and all, they're kind of okay, but there's nothing really special done here, although to be honest with you, for the price level of the game, I wasn't really expecting too much, and yeah, it kind of like is done what it needs to do. Audio wise, for a game that you'll be repeating levels over and over and over and over again, and many more of them, it has a soundtrack just repeats itself over and over and over and over again. And it is so annoying after a while, you just want to turn it off. And unfortunately, if you turn it off, then there's not really much else in the actual game that makes that much noise. Yes, you hear different noises of jumping and all that lot, but to be honest with you, they're not really spectacular, and they're not really, there's not really that much of it there. The good, as a whole, it's hard, but it is get passable hard. I do like the endless mode. I really do enjoy that mode a lot. Plenty of levels for your money. The bad, some of those levels are just stupidly hard, like put you off playing hard, and to me that's a bad thing. It's just gone too far over that edge. Those load screens are annoying, especially when you're on the endless mode and you're getting used to it. You can go in for 10 seconds, make a mistake, and then have to wait a while to go back in. It would have been cool to have online leaderboards for the endless random mode. That would have been pretty cool. The score. And yes, based on my own feelings of the game and my own experience, and also a bit of value for money as well. And so I will be giving Luciform a 3 out of 5. And I so wanted to give this game more, but it just lacked in certain areas, and a few bad decisions or bad levels just really spoiled the experience for me. And I know that there's probably some people that will probably skip past those levels really easily and not really bother them, or just like that sort of challenge, but to me it just felt like the wrong end of difficult. And as for my alternative, I'm going to suggest Sir of Love-A-Lot. It's actually quite a cool little platformer. And yeah, I don't know that many games actually like Luciform, so if you've got a suggestion, feel free to leave it down in the comments, as well as any other thoughts that you may actually have upon Luciform. That's what they're there for. And feel free to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to be kept up to date with all my latest content, reviews, sales videos, and all sorts of different things. And also hit that link down below to take you to our community Discord, to come for the chat with all friendly people, because life is better when you switch together.